Matty, they're the days that players hate, aren't they? They always describe them as a long day in the dirt.
Yeah, I mean, a long day in the dirt, toil for the boys. Something that we relish. Obviously today didn't go as planned on the bowling front, and we're a little bit behind the 8-ball, but there's still plenty of cricket to play in this, I believe, and we can still have a big impact on this game.
It looked at one point like their first innings was going to mirror yours, particularly with the wickets falling around about lunchtime, but then absolutely nothing, not a sniff in the afternoon at all.
No, not a sniff in the afternoon. We picked up a couple before lunch, which is always nice, put them under a little bit of pressure, but credit to Lyndon James and Ben Slater, they played really, really nicely.
I mean, it's not generally been loose bowling, you've kept it fairly tight, but there's just nothing happening out there.
Yeah, there's just nothing happening, and sometimes you go through periods of play where that happens, but remember, we've still got a bat on this as well, and they're going to have to try and bowl us out for a win, so I think it's you can't tell until the full game's unfolded.
Is the wicket just really flat? Is that what it is?
There's still a little bit of juice in the pitch, something that we're going to exploit tomorrow morning, first thing when the boys are fresh, but there is no demons really as sorts in the pitch.
Joe Clark getting him right on the cusp of lunch was a big wicket, wasn't it? But then Lyndon James has got his first century, Ben Slater's got 164, record 4th wicket stand, and they've just looked so comfortable out in the middle today.
Yeah, I mean, Lyndon James and Ben Slater played really, really well, played nicely, lined everything up nice and straight, which I think is the key on that pitch. It was always nice to get a wicket just on the cusp of lunch. You always feel as though you're a little bit hard done by because you want to get at them, and I felt as though we lost a little bit of the pressure from there. It dissipated a bit, but no, credit to them, they played well, and we were still bowling nicely, and we'll have to do exactly the same tomorrow.
George Dressell's bowled quite a few overs today, wasn't expecting to play in this one. Do you think the loss of Liam Travascus has slightly unbalanced the side with his concussion injury?
No, I don't think. I think they're pretty like for like, minus the fact that George is a right arm off spinner and Trev's a left arm. They both bat nicely. And they offer quite a lot with the ball. Drissel got through a few overs today, which is good for him and good for the side. I'm sure Liam would have got through a few as well. He hasn't got any rewards as yet, but I think he's bowled very, very nicely, and he'll probably have a lot to say on this game. Yeah,
and as far as this innings has gone so far, very reminiscent of what happened in the final day against Leicestershire. I think there was little going there. 191 overs now Durham have bowled for 5 wickets on this ground.
Yeah, if this is a sign of the way things are going to go, I think we might see a few more draws. Or we've just got to get better and adapt as a bowling unit, which is something that we're having discussions as a bowling. I can guarantee we're having these discussions as a bowling unit on how we can be better and how we can achieve wickets on these type of pitches.
They used to say it ought to be a bowler in England in April, particularly in Chesley Street, but those days seem long and gone.
Well, our times have changed, eh? That's a hard wicket to bowl on. I will say that it's a lot of effort, a lot of graft, and a lot of toil. But like I said before, something the boys relish. You don't get the just desserts if you don't try and you don't bowl well.
Yeah, and finally, on a cold day like this, nice to be off the field eventually.
Oh, I'm looking forward to having a nice hot shower, I can tell you that.